Alright, let me just get the door for you.
Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
What are we saying, guys? So, you see what we're looking at. Can I ask you a question, man?
Yes, you can.
So, if I brought you to the Cheesecake Factory, you know, first date, was that like 4 or 5 years ago? Yeah, man. Would you be upset? Would you be cheated?
No, I wouldn't be upset.
That's crazy. What do you guys think? Drop a comment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. When you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I went into this date as I expect, with the expectations for myself, to keep you safe, you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean,
and then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least, you know.
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
Well, I mean, like, even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I don't know you.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
I don't
we're not
know
there
yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
And then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself all made
There's
up.
nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well, look at my planner, where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See, I specifically told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late, and like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment, and that is not possible.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, you know, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice fancy restaurant as Aria, especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do. I would have been, but if we're late, I mean, I told you twice.
It wasn't that late.
We literally left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be. And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot.
I mean,
I'm waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, like, you know,
No.
equivalent to that? I mean,
I literally
you don't
just said,
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
there's nothing wrong with
I
that.
will die. That's
Okay.
embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for that.
No.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So you just want to call it a night? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
He was
but
out of the parking space.
If I don't feel
Can you
respected,
see?
I am not gonna go through with the rest of the day.
Well, I mean, you are serious. You're really leaving.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise.
Everybody want to get mad at this lady for not wanting to go to the Cheesecake Factory on the first date. Everybody going in on her, especially our people. Everybody is on the goddamn TikTok, social media trashing this lady. So here it is. Let's talk about it. I go out on a date with an exotic white young woman. You think I could take her to the Cheesecake Factory on the first date? You think I could take a Latina chick to the Cheesecake Factory on the first date? Or any type of foreigner chick on the first date to the Cheesecake Factory without getting a negative reaction? That shit not happening. So here it is. Dude got an exotic chick, because black women is exotic to men of different races, different color. So if she's exotic, take her to an exotic restaurant. It's that simple. Stop hating on her for having a high fucking.
Yeah, this guy, he kind of has a point. What were you saying though, Mama? You said this guy, because she's black, guys don't think that she deserves to be. I
feel like some men look at black women and they think they can just do the bare minimum just based off of society.
You're like, oh, she's black, she doesn't deserve.
Yeah, because he was
deserve anything but the
saying he wouldn't even be able to.
Ooh, that's good.
But yeah, he was saying he wouldn't even be able to think about bringing a foreign girl. So it's like that energy should be put towards every female, not just foreign.
Yeah, that's kind of wild, but I don't want to be too disrespectful, you know. First thing I was thinking was, damn, this guy's wet by the white cooch. That's crazy. Like, who cares if she's white, black, orange, or yellow? I'm bringing you to the Cheesecake Factory. It's not that deep.
Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
Okay. How about this? How about you get out the car and have a discussion with the sidewalk about it? How about that? You want to put that on live? Or why don't you tell them? Why don't you why somebody like you is waiting on an Uber right now? Or why somebody like you got to walk the fuck home? Get out of my car, man. Come on, chop, get out of my shit.
Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
This has always been one of my biggest concerns. This type of video right here. And it's also one of my biggest hesitancies when trying to be in a relationship. Now, you heard her, right? Who takes a person that looks like this to a chain restaurant? And the issue here is that, you know, the message is conflicting, right? You know, this is a person who would want the man to plan the date, take them out on a date, pay for the date. I've always said, it's never that simple. It's not just about, you know, planning the date and taking them out on the date. I mean, it would be great, right? But this type of woman not only wants the date planned for her, not only, I mean, this person, the man even picked her up. Like, if you watch the whole video, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I love the solution or the end of that video as well. But this person, this woman is like, oh, now it also depends on where you take me. It's always been like that. They didn't say that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, again, if I'm taking you out on a date, it's not so I can show you what's in my wallet. This is not a Capital One commercial. I'm taking you out to get to know you better, right? We've gone past the point of phone conversation and texts and pictures and everything like that. Now we're going out. I want to see what type of person you are. Now, it doesn't matter to me where we go. I feel like that's a woman thing, right? Well, especially for this woman. I just want to meet you. Right? I just want to meet you. I want you to see me. I want to see that you don't look like I want to see if you match and look like your photos and so on and so forth. Now, you didn't see it in the video, but she also goes on to say that, he arrived. He told her that, he would like to pick her up at a certain time, and she wasn't ready because she had to do something for work. The video just unravels into a lot of stuff. It's like, in summary, the video's like, I want to be treated like this, but I can do whatever I want. And because she feels she looks a certain way, he should tolerate all of that. Situation like that will never get off the ground. You've got women looking for men, right? And the weird thing about it is, you'll take a guy like that, right? You'll take a guy like that you see in the video, who is willing to take you out on a date, who's willing to pick you up, who's willing to pay for the date. And in the end, you will call him a simp. For me, I think that, I think what it is that, we just need to kind of scrape through all the garbage, right? Like, the mystery of a woman saying that she wants a good man, after she's had a bad relationship. And I don't necessarily think it's that the women want a good man. I mean, you take the relationship that they were in, right? That, they were in for a very, very long time, and maybe, there was some verbal abuse, or maybe he was cheating on her, or whatever the case may be. Now, it's tough to leave those relationships as well, but I'm just going to dive right into it. There were characteristics about that person that made that woman want to stay, right? So there's positive in the fact that maybe he, at one time, made her feel safe. Maybe he was a person, that spoke up for himself, maybe because he had a backbone or whatever. I think the bad part about those relationships, or maybe he disrespected her at moments and probably called her names and was controlling. But there's aspects that they are attracted to. I don't necessarily think those women coming from those experiences can understand what a good man or a gentleman is bringing to the table, because they haven't resolved the issue of their past relationships. The gentleman is just going to take good aspects of what you want and replicate that time and time and time over again. And so when there's a conflict of that, it's not because that person's a simp. It's because you aren't used to being treated well. But that's not their fault. But the weird thing about it is that you'll discard them as if it is an issue with them. You won't even acknowledge, like, the way that those breakups should be is, hey, I am not used to being treated this well. So therefore, until I get a hold of my emotions, I don't think we can be together. I'd rather hear that than go, you're too nice. And just don't blame them. Don't blame them. You're struggling. That person's not struggling. It's easy for them to treat you the way they treat you. But the date. Oh, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? So, according to women like this, not every woman, but according to women like this, you're supposed to plan the date. You're supposed to pay for the date. And now I guess the element is you need to get her approval of where you go. And this is the first date? Like, he knows nothing about you. He's seen a picture of you. And he's supposed to go above and beyond on the first date, not knowing what you have for him? I get it. This is why I'm single.
And to be honest, all I had was kind of telling the truth. Let me know.
Yesterday and this morning, I come to pick you up at 4 p.m., right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour And so I was waiting downstairs
I understand.
for an hour, right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
I'm not in the business of humbling women. But this is why. This is a perfect example of why I will never be 100% a girl's girl. Because some of y'all don't know how to act, okay? Some of y'all have zero home training. This is motherless behavior. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you cannot scream about standards while having no standards for yourself, okay? Work with me here. If you don't have a standard that you hold for yourself about your own behavior, you do not get to enforce standards onto other people. You can't talk about what your standard is while being an hour late to a date. You can't. What are we doing? The entitlement, especially when it's pretty well documented how rough it is for the girlies out in the dating scene right now. And to have women like this out here with all of the entitlement in the world, and I've never been in the business of humbling women. Never. That's not my bag. But baby, this man picked you up and waited for you for an hour after communicating with you twice previously. So we got a communicative king, okay? When you put the camera on his face, which is just like, what? He still was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. Emotional intelligence on 10. He didn't shy away. He didn't start popping off. He said, let's talk about it. Just, what? Let's talk about it. He calmly informed you of the changes that were happening. Calmly informed you. He could have been like, and let you know why they were happening, because his standards were also not being met. His level of not even expectation, but like his standard for how you figure out if this is a person that you want to continue spending time with was also not being met. And this heifer, don't be out here ruining stuff. If you encounter a man who is polite, who is communicative, who is direct with their intentions, he pulled out a planner. He had a planner, okay? You be appreciative because this person is applying effort to try and be in your space. Be appreciative. Gratitude is free. And then if you decided that, hey, I'm not a Cheesecake Factory girly, we have the conversation. You know what? You have drinks, whatever. I had fun with you, but I'm just not a huge fan of chain restaurants. Next time we go out, can we check out a spot like this? Like, you communicate. You don't try to emasculate and embarrass and shame while holding no shame for yourself and your abhorrent behavior. This made me sad because the girlies are out here dating interracially now, and all the time we always see, black and white as if that's the only mix, okay? And we see something new, and this is how you're behaving. This is how you're behaving. Be better. You cannot have standards for a man if you do not have standards for yourself. It doesn't work that way. I hope that this man encounters a queen who is appreciative of the effort, because they are out there, and not on like no pick me stuff, but on some like, I can match your energy. I want that for this man because he dodged a bullet with this one.
Say it with me. Motherless behavior.
Are you sure you want to go home?
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
so,
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
All right, whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. You got to do what you got to do.